Because of the large number of investments in the Naspers portfolio, distilling the revenue streams into neat little buckets does give us some valuable insight. But you have to be careful with these numbers. Fundamentally, you want to go into each portfolio company and look at how it generates its revenue stream based on the sector it's in and look at the underlying business model. But that's not feasible with the number of investments Naspers has. So what we're going to do is we're going to quickly look at the main types of revenue Naspers generates and then look at how this is generated across the entire portfolio of companies. So there are four main types of revenue that Naspers is generating. They generate subscription revenue, which makes up 45% of their overall revenues, e-commerce revenue, which makes up about 38% of overall revenues, advertising revenue, making up about 6%, and then they sell stuff, and that makes up about 2.5% of their revenue. So those are the top four revenue streams within Naspers. And those top four revenue streams really constitute in excess of 90% of the overall revenue of the group. I also want to consider the revenue streams based on the main business areas that the portfolio of companies is organized under. So revenue streams under internet, video entertainment, and under media. And I'm going to split up the internet business into two categories, what we're going to call the social network and what we're going to call e-commerce. Now, this provides much better clarity. Based on this categorization, the social network businesses, mainly Tencent and Mail.ru, constitute 60% of Naspers revenue. They constitute 60% of Naspers revenue. And of that, Tencent accounts for over 95% of that 60%. That is huge, considering it's only two companies out of a portfolio of about 50 companies, and the largest driver of revenue is coming from the single investment in Tencent. The e-commerce companies contribute about 18% to revenue, and the video and entertainment also around 18%. The media is really small, and it contributes less than 3% to the overall revenue of Naspers. If we had to analyze the earnings before interest, taxation, depreciation, and amortization, we see an interesting picture. The social network businesses are contributing virtually 100% or all of the EBITDA. That's because even though the video entertainment business has a positive 16% EBITDA, this is set off by a negative 15% EBITDA in the e-commerce companies within the portfolio. So the contribution of the media assets to EBITDA is negligible. It's less than 0.5%. And finally, when we analyze how trading profits are being generated in the Naspers portfolio, the social network companies are responsible for over 74% of the trading profits. The e-commerce companies generate trading losses of around 20% of overall trading profits. And the video entertainment generates approximately 18% of trading profits, whilst the contribution of the media companies to trading profits is negligible. Now, this summary analysis really exposes the degree to which the Naspers Group is dependent on its investment in Tencent in terms of revenue, in terms of profitability, and ultimately in terms of the valuation of Naspers as a whole.